stuff to.
And I'm fine with all that. It's just it felt like. So here's my thing. It's a
Who
pacing
exactly
issue
do
for
you
me.
think I am?
For me,
Someone who
especially with
carries
Spider-Man, because I know
band-aids?
you even
Guess
kind of
not.
mentioned it. Like it feels kind of like a faster paced game.
Actuating the barrier.
But then you get to that point, and it's like the plot just kind of stops while you do that for a couple hours, and it's just it feels it's one of my pet peeves on games. You know, with a good, especially if you have a good story, or even if you don't, it's worse. I hate it so much worse that they don't. That they add in these extra grindy like missions 4 times to fight the same person. That just feels like you're just trying to make your game longer than it is. And that's literally it. And I'm like, you don't need to though. It was fine being a little shorter, but great because the pacing was fantastic. But now,
Yeah.
like that last bit is a slog.
I feel like maybe I don't notice pacing in games as much as you might because I'm consuming them in smaller bites at a time.
Yeah, that's a good point. Much smaller bites.
So I might not recognize it as much, if that makes sense.
I totally get that.
But I mean, I understand. I get what you're saying.
No,
like,
no, yeah, because it's the same concept
when,
as the movie. Yeah.
I didn't really think about it until you said something, and then I was like, well, if Venom wants to rip Peter in half, why didn't he just rip Peter in half? Or
Exactly.
just try to rip Peter in half.
And you know, we get it. Like you can't just
Right.
because that ruins the
They've
build up.
come face to face. They've come face to face like 3 times now, or something.
You're really running out of excuses on why why they just haven't thrown down.
Right, exactly. No, I get it.
Yeah. That's like one of the things for me. Like Last of Us Part 2. The pacing for me is like I love the pacing of Last of Us. And since they have like a little bit of a Pulp Fiction thing going on with the timeline jumping back and forth, not to a confusing degree, but it can be jarring at first because they don't tell you that they're doing it at first.
Right.
But that's on purpose. But the pacing is just phenomenal throughout. Like things slow down exactly when they need to slow down, and it picks up right when you're just like, man, I'm wondering about, and then boom, some shit goes down. Or right when you think things are getting a little calm, you know, boom, shit pops off, or something like that.
You know, and if you, in the case of Spider-Man, or a game like that, if the player wants more playtime, there's plenty of side quests and like collectibles or you get what I'm saying, like the non
Damn, I'm the only one that fucking died, man.
Prowler tech boxes, or you get what I'm saying.
Oh man, yeah, I only did a couple of those too. Like I went in kind of raw because I didn't do a lot.
I gotta make sure I get some upgrades. We got enough tech parts and stuff.
If you have if you have your parries down, you're okay.
I know, but I don't.
Oh. See, that's that 3 years of working on Sekiro paid off for me in the end, man. I can. Those games don't feel.
Man, I don't remember what it was, but there was one boss battle, a particularly tough spot that I came across where I was like, okay, I'm just going to have to parry. Like, there's no way around it.
Yeah, parry's going to become kind of critical, man, by the way.
Well, it kind of did. I noticed in that fight with the Mary Jane.
Yeah, it's going to get a little bit worse, too, just so you know.
I'm sure. Man, we didn't even talk about the game and just ran them over.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even look at the stats. I didn't even look at the stats once.
I'm the only one that fucking died. I was upset about that. I knew that would happen.
We're talking about another game while we're playing this game.